A door on the side of the Great Hall opened, but it was only Prime Minister Erhan. He'd been Prime Minister longer than I'd been alive, and his oily demeanor left me with a sour taste every time I had to speak with him. That was happily rare. I preferred the study of bones and trees and the denizens below to the study of politics. Erhan spoke to a guard next to the door. The guard, dressed in ceremonial silver and blue, struck his iron-tipped halberd on the ground. The guards lining the hall took up the movement, creating the iron tempo that announced my father. The hall went dark, and whispering began. A dark hall heralded magic, for magic did not work well with fire. The candles burned low in their sconces, reflected like diamonds by the ice walls. Light descended from above, instead, in round pearls that fell like feathers. They glittered as they drifted, shimmering blue one moment, orange the next, clumping together like the thick pollen that blew in from the mountains during what passed for summer in Kylma Above. There was a great intake of breath from the hall, and I tilted my face up to catch some of the pearls as they fell. My father was the only man in the world above who could refine magic and control how it manifested, and it never failed to mesmerize. It was his declaration of wealth, his declaration of power, and it reminded the rest of us what magic could do, if we only had the imagination for it. The pearls turned into flower petals, filling the air with a sweet scent. Roseus brumalis, I thought, breathing in the faint smell of winter roses, the only kind that grew here. Before they kissed our faces, they burst apart again, showering us with needled points. I covered my face with my sleeves. A few of the delegates shouted. A crack shook the palace walls and dark wings snapped above us. An enormous eagle winged around the top of the domed ceiling, golden eyes flashing in the dark. Its cry made my ears throb, and its wing beat nearly blew me into Velocia. The eagle pulled its wings in and hurtled to the ground. Delegates stumbled out of its way, and even I, who'd seen my father's displays at least twice a year, flinched. With a screech, the eagle raked its talons across the floor, leaving deep gouges that would stay long after the bird had disappeared. The power of magic. It was temporary, but the effects were permanent. And only my father had the secret to it. I hated him for that more than I hated him for other things. The eagle launched back into the air, knocking over the nearest delegates, and sped toward the ceiling. I was certain it would slow down or disappear, but instead it crashed through the dome. Ice shattered and plummeted toward us. We ducked again, but the ice slowed and spun, turning into snowflakes that dusted our shoulders like sugar. Wind howled through the cracked dome, but winter roses grew over the cracks, smoothing the wall. Ice climbed toward the starred sky. The hole became smaller and smaller until the last of the roses knit together, leaving us with our ice dome and sealing us off from the elements once more. Light flared. The room became golden and warm. The show was over, and the Grand Duke stood before us. Everyone knelt. That was Father's grand trick for our guests. Show them the power of magic, its constructive, destructive, and transformative glory. Because magic was our most exported resource, Father wanted the wealthy delegates to imagine what they could do with it. They could impress kings. They could bring down city walls. With the correctly refined pearl, they could change the world. My father's very presence demanded silence. I'd feared him for almost as long as I could remember. Where he walked, the air seemed thin and sparse, as if his broad shoulders and fur coat pushed it out of a room, as if it tangled in his snow and stone beard or got bitten off by his sharp teeth when he smiled, as if his brown eyes could pin it down. Mother stood next to him, in a dress of white doeskin. She and I shared the same pale hair and skin, the same gray eyes, the same pointed